Welcome back, romantic home family, and welcome if y'all are new. I am Olivia's romantic home, and in today's video I am over the moon excited to share with you guys part 3 of my living room makeover transformation. Olivia at the Ritz Paris, really just in my living room, transforming the things that I already have. And I will tell you guys, I had a DIY fail disaster. I'll share with you guys more on that, but I do have one that was a success. I'm going to transform a mirror into an art piece. So maybe you guys can take this idea and flip a mirror that you already have and take it into an art piece, or vice versa, an art piece into a mirror. Okay, you guys, thank you for being here. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. It's totally free. I have some really fun videos coming up in this series and in the springtime in general. Also pop over to my Olivia's Romantic Home DIY Facebook page where I share daily crafting inspiration with you all. And I have a free group page for you all to share photos of the home decor and DIY projects that you guys work on. And I am loving all the inspiration over there. So thank you guys for being brave and sharing. And thank you guys for all of the kind comments on everybody's posts. Without further ado, let's go ahead and plug in those glue guns, get out glitter and paint, and let's get to crafting. Okay, let's get started on transforming this absolutely gorgeous giant heavy mirror. And I'm telling you, I love this mirror as a mirror, but I do not love how heavy it is. It takes really huge heavy duty industrial hangers to hang it on, which means I can't move it wherever it goes. I can't change anything up, and it reflects so many different things in the background. So I'm gonna DIY this and change it into a Love Shack fancy art piece. And this might give you guys an idea on how to change up something in your house. You can simply take a mirror out, or you can take a picture out if you have a really pretty ornate frame. So I took the mirrors out after the hundreds of screws. It felt like a million screws. And then I had this Love Shack fancy gorgeous peel and stick wallpaper left over from another DIY that I had done. And I'm just going to take the mirror and check it to make sure when I lay the wallpaper down, or I should say the frame now, check it and make sure when I lay that down that it's going to fit properly in there, which there was a little bit of Frankensteining that had to happen with this. Now, I know not everybody's going to agree with me on this transformation, but I absolutely love it. And more than anything, I love that I can change my mind. I can take it back to the mirror if I want to, or I can move it and make it into a headboard in my bedroom. I've thought about that. So there's just so many fun ideas. And I think that the best thing about doing arts and crafts projects and DIY projects is that it's your home. You can make them unique. You don't have to please anybody. It's really just your home and whoever's living in it. If it makes you happy, do it. So this was a really easy project too, using peel and stick wallpaper. Now you guys can get peel and stick wallpaper on different websites online. They have some really pretty floral prints. I personally love the Love Shack fancy paper, and I just really got super excited about it and ordered a roll of this, and then I did my dining room in some Love Shack fancy wallpaper. So I'm just using what I already have on hand. You guys could also use some contact paper. That would be really cute if you found a pretty print and contact paper. I know sometimes I'll go online and want to redo like a cupboard or something, and they have really beautiful contact paper. So I may look for that, because the Love Shack fancy wallpaper was a little bit pricey, but it really is beautiful. The prints are really beautiful, and I've used it on so many craft projects. I feel like my whole little house is gonna be crafted up with Love Shack fancy prints. Okay, here now I have all three in there, and okay, so I took it into my living room and I started to hang it with the gold frame, and the gold frame just looked really odd. I don't know, hanging on the wall with the Love Shack fancy paper in it. It looked like it was giant, like kidney beans. I don't know why I felt like it was like that, but it looked weird to me. So I took it back down, took it back out again, and then decided to paint it with some of my chalk paint. This is from Dixie Belle Paints in the color Fluff. You guys have probably seen me transform so many things with this paint. It has gone a really long way with my little DIY heart. I used 3 coats of it on this, and let me tell you, all those little grooves, this was a very daunting project. I started this Sunday afternoon, and I was up until Sunday night doing this. Here is how my mirror turned out. I feel like it looks like this beautiful piece of art. I'm super excited to put it back together and hang it on my wall, and hopefully it looks awesome. Crossing my fingers. Here's how my giant mirror turned out after 3 coats of paint, you guys. I think it looks gorgeous. I was gonna leave it gold, and then I put it up on the wall and I took pictures of it, and it looked like it was like giant kidney beans up on my walls. I don't know why it looked like that, but it just kind of freaked me out. And so I was like, okay, we're gonna just put this into a shabby chic idea. And if I hate it, I can put the mirror back up. And I saved the original mirror, so it's not a big deal. And worst case scenario, if I wanted to take it back to gold, a couple coats of spray paint, and I'm back to its original form. So there's really nothing that's been lost on this, but I do love the ability to be able to move this giant piece around, because when it was a mirror, I couldn't change anything. And you guys know I'm constantly changing my mind on where I want to put things, how I want things to look, the style. So right now we're gonna go to Paris in my living room and put this back together. Okay, now it's time to get the 5 million screws back into the back of this. And it actually took me 2 tries because I had it upside down. So this was such a big project, you guys. Again, I got in over my head with my little paint projects. You guys saw me get over my head in the first paint project in this series with painting my living room pink, which I feel like I was really excited with how that came out. But I thought it was going to take, maybe about 3 hours, and it ended up taking about 3 days and 2 buckets of paint instead of 1. So I guess it's almost like my eyes are bigger than my tummy with these type of projects. It's like I see something, I think I can tackle it, get it done. If it was a floral project, I could get it done in an hour or so, right? Those are the things I'm really proficient at, but I'm kind of trying to spread my wings and do some different things to share with you guys, because I know it might give you all an idea of how to repurpose the things that are already in your home instead of running out and buying something new. To take things that are already in your home or maybe from the thrift store and look at them with some new eyes and do something different with them. So I was really excited for how this project turned out. I feel like it looks really beautiful, and I wasn't for sure how it was going to go. Not all DIY projects are successful. Some of them are fails, as I'm going to show you guys later in this video with my curtain project, but I end up conquering it, thankfully. I did have to call in some reinforcements for it, but again, all these screws, and it took so long to paint this whole frame. But if you see a scrolly frame, think about all the wonderful things you could do with it. You can put a mirror in it, you can take a mirror out of it, you can put some pretty paper in it, some pretty art, really whatever floats your boat. It's your home. Have fun with it and get creative and go for it. Okay, now let's hang this big Love Shack fancy art piece. Again, I have on my rickety ladders out again. Guys, that needs to be on the top of my Christmas wish list, is a new ladder. So I measured it at about 41 inches. So I'm gonna go ahead and make a new hole up here. So I measured the size of my mirror, and then I measured up to the size of the wall where it needs to go. I want to put it a little bit above that chair rail, and look at how beautiful this pretty cotton candy wall color is. I love it. It's just so delicate and so perfectly pink. It's not too pink, but it's guys, I'm just in heaven with this color. So I did go ahead and use, they have these little picture frame hanging hooks, and they're hooks that kind of can go deep into your wall. And that's what I'm using for this, and it is just really, really wonderful. It holds things that are a little bit heavier just really well, and it doesn't pull out of the wall. So it kind of is almost like an anchor, but it's so much easier to use. And I do like to use a nail to put a little hole in the wall first, and then I'm just going to go ahead and hang this. And you guys can see that even with the mirrors out, it's a little bit cumbersome and it's a little bit difficult to maneuver, but it's so much easier. It's really almost a 2-person job, and it takes these major anchors that I can't even get out of my dining room wall now. So I guess if it was to go back anywhere, it probably needs to go back into the dining room. But I am absolutely loving this. I feel like it's those fancy French panels that you guys see that people do, and I've just been dying to have something like that, and just I think that it just looks so beautiful. If you guys know what I'm talking about, that beautiful French architecture, in my mind, that's what this looks like. So for me, it's a total winner and I absolutely love it. I did also have some screws added to the base of it so it wasn't bowing out. I love it. Oh my gosh, I love it. Ah, it's so pretty. It's so fancy and it's so pretty. Ah! The only thing is since I took the mirrors out, the top part is like pulling forward just a little bit. So I'm not sure what's causing that, but it seems sturdy, I think. It's so pretty. Okay, we're gonna come back to kind of styling this little art piece, but let me share with you guys part of the fail on my next project. I'm going to measure where I want to hang my curtain rod. Now that I have the spot chosen for where I want to hang my curtain rod, I'm simply going to put my little drill bit into my drill, and to do that I just use the drill bit and then I turn my little drill until it gets large enough to where it's going to hold the drill bit on the drill, and you're going to keep turning it and then put your little gizmo in there, your little drill bit. It's not a gizmo, but rolling it and rolling it and rolling it until that gets in there, and now we're ready to roll. We have to make a hole so we can put the anchor in. So first we're gonna drill a hole. Okay, I went ahead and drilled a hole and that was successful. And then I put my little anchor in. I just tapped it gently, part of it. And then I used the drill to continue to get it all the way in, and I got it in and it went flush with the wall. So that was good. That was successful. And then I added the screw, and the screw is going to hold the curtain rod. And then I'm just going to use a screw underneath. And so I successfully hung 2 of the brackets for my curtain rod on either side. Now, I've lived in this home for a long time, so we've had to rehang these curtain rods several times as we've changed heights on them, or they've pulled out, or just whatever. You know, I've lived in this house for 22 years, so things are going to get moved around or changed. But it was the center one where there had already been a bracket, and so the drywall was just really unstable. And when I went to hang that one, it just punched a big hole in the wall. That was a fail. Okay, that was my first fail. My second fail was painting these curtain rods. Stop right now. Do not do this. Do not paint your curtain rods. It probably is not going to go super well if you have metal grommets for your curtains. Friends, here is my DIY curtain rod fail. So I had asked you guys from my last video, should I paint my curtain rods? And I painted them and the color is beautiful, except for when I went to put them back on, that little center bar that used to be up here for my curtain is like a really tight metal rod, and it just scratched it all up really, really bad. I also have metal grommets on the top of my curtains. So I cut those off, DIY'd them, and made like a curtain flat panel. And let me share with you guys how that went. Rod hooks that the curtain rod sits on had gotten really just kind of worn out, and one of them pulled away from the wall. So I DIY'd this curtain, which you guys know, I hot glued a flap for it, and it's not a bad deal, but something happened where after I painted this, they wouldn't slide anymore. So last night I'm trying to slide the curtains back and forth to open and close them, and one of the holders that the curtain is held on pulled out of the wall. And I'm like, great. So I know that I can't use a screwdriver. Well, I can now. So I went to Walmart. I figured out how to use a screwdriver, went to Walmart and found these beautiful new curtains, because I knew I could go buy another $6 can of spray paint, respray them, and then probably go buy epoxy or some type of coating that was, I looked at the paint store, it was like 30 bucks for that. So it was like $36. Let's just go check Walmart and see if I can find a better curtain rod. And I did, and they were on clearance. apparently nobody in the Ozarks wants fancy curtain rods, okay? Look at how gorgeous these are. They're gold. They have this clear, fancy, you know, it looks like crystal on the end. Let me share with you guys my idea for this. So I figured out how to hang both ends over here. But then in the process, I put a massive, I'm talking like hole this big in the center part where that curtain rod is supposed to go. So I have quite a dilemma on this. I am at a loss. I'm gonna have to call in some help for this one. I think I need to be put in DIY timeout. That's what needs to happen. But I did get 2 of these. They're $19 each at Walmart. They're gorgeous. Let me show how they look out of the box. I'm super excited and crossing my fingers that once I call in some help, that this will be remedied. It's the new fancy curtain rod that's going to go up there. I'm just gonna speak it into existence. And my idea for this is to put the little curtain rings on here. So let me show you guys how we're gonna do that. Let's wash my curtains. I washed and dried them with the little tabs that I hot glued at the top, and so it worked. But we're just going to clip these to the top of here, because I had somebody on Instagram tell me that my curtains looked cheap with the grommets, and I don't know, maybe they're right, but I've enjoyed them for many years. I didn't think that they looked cheap, but we're gonna try something different now. And also I'm thinking the grommets make the curtains really heavy and are always pulling the rods out. So we're just gonna try something different. And now it's got me out of my comfort zone as far as being able to use power tools. Now I can do that. I was actually sharing with you guys a tutorial on that until I punched the big hole in my wall up here. So I have to figure out how to fix that before I can share with you guys the final result. But here is the new pretty, beautiful, fancy curtain rod for my Olivia at the Ritz Paris. Olivia at the Ritz Paris in my living room. Because if we can't go to Paris, we might as well create it at home. Or wherever you want to create. Maybe you want to go to Hawaii. Maybe you want to go to Italy. Maybe you just want to go right where you're at and just make your home a little bit more fancy, which is really, really what I love. That's what I really love. So here's just an idea of how these are going to look up there. I think they're going to look really cute once they're up there and they're kind of like draped around, hopefully. If not, I may be ordering curtains. Now, there's a tab in here to be able to use them as regular curtains. I just didn't think I was going to be able to, but now that I have a normal curtain rod, I can probably just use them. Oh gosh, I probably better pull this off. I can also use them because I did DIY a flap on them. So what do you guys think? Do you like the idea of that, or do we want them just to look more like a regular curtain? Probably it would help to see them once I actually have them up. I may hate the little ring things. The curtain rods were only $19 at Walmart. They're on clearance. I looked up gold curtain rods and they were selling for like $150 on Pottery Barn in West Elm. Who pays that much for a curtain rod? Probably if you have a really fancy home, I guess, because these curtain rods, I will say, I mean, they're probably not the most high quality, although I feel like they're gonna do just fine. But look how pretty. I don't know if we can envision this. Let me see if we can get this a little bit higher so we can think about how this is gonna look. Isn't that gonna look pretty, you guys? I think that's just gonna be beautiful, hopefully. Hopefully, if I can get them hung. That's the only concern I'm a little bit worried about, if they're gonna be able to be successfully hung. I'm also going to do, I've decided I'm gonna do two separate rods. So have one here, and then another one's gonna start here. And then I think what would be cool is to put a pretty architectural piece on that center spot where I destroyed the wall, maybe. Let me know what you guys think. Hard to kind of see, but don't you think that's gonna be really pretty and elegant? Okay, so while I'm waiting for reinforcements to help me with my curtain fail, my DIY total fail, I am going to just go ahead and kind of begin to style this entryway table. And it was starting to get a little bit late in the afternoon, evening time, and I was getting a little bit tired. So I feel like I want to just kind of live with this piece for a bit and really see how I want to style it. I need you guys' help though, because when I started to put the gold frames back on, I was like, I didn't know how they look, but look at this. Look at my glorious curtains. Look at that beautiful gold curtain rod. Thank you, Walmart, for putting a curtain on clearance. It was perfect for my home. Better Homes and Gardens, you guys make great curtain rods, and I am loving it. I even put some little tie backs on the side there. What do you all think? I had so many of y'all tell me that a gold or white curtain rod would be perfect, so I am loving it, and I did end up using the little rings. And again, I need to play with that. If you guys can see, it's dark outside now. I got so exhausted by this project. It took me all day long. I don't know why, it just did. It was a lot to learn how to use a drill, and then I had a fail, and then I was trying to put the mirror new wall decor piece back together. It was just so much going on, but look at how beautiful it is. There's no scratches. It was only $19 per curtain rod. I feel like that was a really good deal. Even though I love to always use what I already have, I had had that other curtain rod for probably, gosh, 15 years, maybe 20, who knows. Very, very long time. So this change just made my heart smile. I did patch the walls, the holes that needed to be patched, and then I added a little bit of pink paint. I'm going to step away from that and finish working on the wall. I probably need maybe one more paint underneath, but look at how beautiful that little entryway is. I'm so excited for it. I have to turn my lamp on. The lighting makes things look different at night, but here's how I styled my coffee table. I found these Shabby Chic books at a flea market for $5 each. I thought they were such a score. Do you guys remember Rachel Ashwell and Shabby Chic? She was what first made me fall in love with beautiful, romantic, girly pink and white decor, and I am just loving this. I'm loving my little $3 coffee table. I'm loving my little table that I remade. See how the lighting though looks different when you turn the lamp lighting on. I feel like the walls even look like a different color. There's my little fake cakes. You guys can find those in my Olivia's Romantic Home Etsy shop. How gorgeous is everything? I'm loving it. But what do you guys think about the gold frames? I don't think that I should probably paint them white, because then everything is going to be white. Is that going to be too much white? Could there ever be too much white? I don't know. I feel like there needs to be some contrast. Do I need to put some florals on this table and do a big floral spread? Now, Tinky was scratching at the door. She usually wants to come in at night, but we had a little puppy dog visitor this evening, and so when there's been another dog in the house, she won't come in. Here she is. She's like crying. I'm trying to figure out what she wants, and then I realized I think she wanted me to put her food and water outside for her, because she kept scratching at the door, but then she wouldn't come in to eat. So she's primarily an outside kitty. She's a really funny kitty. She has her own mind. She's going to do her own thing. Nobody's going to tell her what is going on, what to do. I just have to go with whatever she's got going on. So anyway, she gets a little bit more silly, I feel like, as the years go on. She's probably about 7 or 8 now, and I adore her, but she is just, sometimes she can be a bit much. Okay, I decided to add in some bunnies to the front of my entryway table. What do you guys think about the bunnies? I need to take a step back and see how I want to style this, because I feel like there's so much going on now with the wall decor piece in the back. I don't want too much going on with the table, or maybe I just need to live with it. What do you guys think? I'm still loving it. Because there's sometimes I have so many mirrors in my house, and I feel like it just can be too much. Look at all the beautiful pink and purple blooms outside. My neighborhood is full of these pinkish purple trees. I can't remember what they're called, but they're beautiful. It looks like there's a castle on the hill. Benji Bear was taking his little walk. Now, in my neighborhood, I have a lot of dogs that are off leash. So we don't live in like a specific neighborhood with a bunch of rules, like an HOA.
So there's a lot of dogs that go off leash and they follow me home because I walk Benji Bear sometimes twice a day. Look at this beautiful doggie. Followed me home. I tried to get her to go back home. Thankfully, she had an air tag around her neck. But you know, I don't know what to do. What do you guys do when dogs follow you home? It wasn't that far from her house though, and I'm pretty sure that she got back home, but still it always makes me just a little bit nervous. But she was a big dog. I've never really seen this dog before, but she did have an air tag on, so I know her owner knew where she was at. Anyway, love you guys. Roof roof.
So thank you all so much for joining me on another fun and fabulous crafting and decorating adventure. It's such a true blessing and honor to have each and every one of you all here. For those of you all that have just clicked on this video and popped on my page, welcome. I'm Olivia's Romantic Home. I'm a DIY crafty mama. I love to share with you guys how you can have a boutique gorgeous home on a budget. I feel like using a little bit of paint, some flowers, creativity. I've been even using some peel and stick wallpaper. Just you guys can have a gorgeous home without breaking the bank. So anyway, thank you guys for being here. Now, if you want to share photos of your home decor and DIY projects, pop over to my Olivia's Romantic Home DIY Facebook group page. It's totally free. All you guys have to do is click on the thing to join, and share photos of your home decor and DIY projects. And I am loving what I'm seeing over there. You guys are so super uber talented. I also love all of the kind comments that you're making on each other's posts because, you know, sometimes crafting and decorating, we take it really seriously. Maybe we have little businesses, but other times we're just doing it to alleviate depression, anxiety. And I know crafting and decorating for me is just so helpful. So thank you guys so much. Now, I have been sharing a Bible study with you all because I have a 98% group of women that are on here, and as ladies, we go through things. We're raising children. We need to nourish our hearts and souls, and so I've been doing a little devotional with you guys. This one is called Each and Every Step. I may not always light the path before you in such a way that you feel certain and sure about the future. Know that when I choose to keep you taking one step at a time amid the darkness, I am doing so with great purpose. Often I want to lead you carefully in each step, building your trust and reliance upon me. In order to move forward into my purpose for your life, you can expect to have all the answers. You can't expect to have all the answers. I want you to learn to trust me. The pressure of some of the challenging paths you must take will be what pushes you into my presence. I don't want you to be dismayed or full of fear. Know that I have you right where I want you and that I am with you to rescue you. So God has us right there, and God is there to rescue us. The path I plan for you always leads to victory. Maybe not in the way you want or in the timing you desire, but my will is perfect and you must trust in it. I don't want your faith to rest in anything or anyone other than myself. So surrender to me fully. Know that I will give you the strength you need as you obey each step of faith I reveal to you. Everything I'm doing, the ways in which I'm leading you are for your good and my glory. He renews my strength and he guides me along paths right, bringing honor to his name. And that's Psalm 23:3. So God renews our strength when we're weary, when we're going through things, and he guides us along that right path. That is so wonderful, because don't you feel like sometimes when you're struggling that you're in the dark a little bit? I can even say that just like as an easy example with trying to hang my curtain rod today. I do not use a drill. I kind of learned how to use a drill, and then I got to a point where I couldn't finish the project. And so I've just had to kind of take a step back and say, okay, God, I'm going to settle down. I'm going to let this go and let you work. So what do I need to do? I need to reach out and ask for some help. I need to just be okay with how everything is going. I'm blessed to have a wall to hang a curtain on. I'm just going to see all the blessings in this moment. So when we're in that darkness, we just need to stop for a minute, reach out to God and say, God, still me, give me peace, and help me continue on my journey. Sometimes we just need to reset and redirect. Go take a walk, go drink some water, call a friend, And the curtain rod example is a very trivial example to some of the really major things that I know that we are walking through that are really, really hard, like loss and grief and pain, because trust me, I have walked through those in the last couple of years in depths of water that I didn't even know I would ever going to be able to walk out of. So if you guys are there, keep going, keep going. God has got you. I hope that this encourages you guys. I want to give all of your hearts a big, tight hug. I love you all so, so much. Thank you for being here. I hope you guys can laugh with me about my curtain fail, and hopefully we can remedy it. So stay tuned for part 4. I have some really fun, exciting videos coming up for you guys. So thank you guys so, so much. Until our next video, be kind to yourselves, be kind to one another, and we'll talk to you guys very soon. Bye.